All right, you guys, happy Monday. I'm not gonna talk your ear off. I'm gonna hand it straight over to Karen. She went to her first local over the weekend. And I'm excited to see what kind of tips, nuggets, takeaways that she got from it. So she's leading us tonight. Karen, I'm gonna shut up and I'll let you take over.
Okay, so I thought that me driving 3 hours was a long way, but somebody drove from Missouri, y'all. Yeah, with a baby and her husband. I know. So I thought that was a far drive for me because I've never personally driven that far by myself. Just me and my worship music. It was fine. But yeah, so it's like I wasn't the only one that was a trip for. So this was worth, I think it was 24 or 28 people total. I don't know what I was expecting. I don't know if I was expecting a bunch, 100 or something, because it was Mallory, it was Katie, it was Emma. It was not M, but that's what her name was, Emma. Yeah. But I want to put her in my pocket, by the way. She is the sweetest thing. So it was a lot of us that took time out of an empty schedule that we had. I don't do anything on Saturdays except make, overtime pay, but whatever. I'm going to drive to Indiana and I want to see what this is. Now, I personally have done a local before with another leader. We just kind of went to O'Charlie's and just kind of threw up some balloons. Her daddy's got a record shop. We did one. It was a very good turnout. And her daddy's got a record company. So we did the first local there. Honestly, nobody showed up to those two locals, but we had it set up right. We had the right idea for what we was doing. But I got some more ideas from going to this local with leaders who are further along than we are. So first thing, if you're going to do a local, I highly suggest it. I highly suggest you do a local once a month. I highly suggest you do a local once a week. Whatever your traffic is in your area, find other leaders in your area. You can do this by going into your Facebook groups. I know that we don't like to even go into our Thrive groups. Hey, is there anybody in my area? Is there anybody within a 10-mile, 15-mile radius? Do you want to do a local at the last Saturday of the month? I highly, highly recommend this. This is for customers. This is for potentials. This is for, other promoters, because you learn something new. And I'm going to get into this. So I'm just going to go into my notes. So my takeaways from this local was that this tribe is priceless. I know somebody in the group chat, probably Harriet, told me to be social. I was kind of both. I was kind of a fly on the wall and I was kind of social at the same time, because I didn't really have too much to contribute. But I did want to take everything that I could get at the same time. So I was kind of like a fly on the wall, but I was social. I did talk to the other leaders. And then after the event, we went to a Mexican restaurant, best taco salad ever. But this tribe is priceless. Literally sitting around a table, chowing down on some fried ice cream, just people. When we say that we have our hands on gold, we mean so much more than just the products. The gold that this leadership is, I've never experienced in my entire life. Absolutely incredible. And there's going to be leaders that you vibe with, and there's going to be leaders that you like watching their trainers, but you don't really vibe with them. And that's okay. We're not going to vibe with every single leader. But let me go into what are locals. So for those of you who don't know and have never been to a local is where thrivers and promoters and potentials and customers, even, because there were some customers there, get together to educate those who are invited about Thrive, about what we have our hands on, a little bit about the comp plan, the auto bonus, the VIP bonus, bringing different products, like different leaders, different customers will bring different products, and we talk about those products and what they do for us. Think of a local like a Facebook event, only it's in person. And instead of people watching you on a screen and you sitting there in your room by yourself talking about the products and the comp plan, you're sitting around a table talking with people in real life. I feel like, I'm going to get to that in a second, but what can a local do? A local can educate those who are invited on the products, what the products can do, what the products are, because a lot of people don't know what Thrive is. People ask me all the time, are you wearing a nicotine patch? Like, they think it's a cigarette patch. When I'm wearing like the Ultra or the Lifestyle, they literally, I'm like, bruh, have you ever seen a nicotine patch look like this? Are you serious? No. So a lot of people don't know what Thrive is. So what locals can do is educate people on what it is and what it can do. It can also light a fire under you to get you moving in the areas that you need to get moving, whether it is your health journey, whether it is your business journey. You can even try a product that you've never tried before, because like I said, they bring little goodie bags and samples and stuff like that that you can try. You get to experience being around promoters who have made it just a little bit further than you, and instill that belief that it can happen for you. And again, I like to revert back to Katie's story. Yeah, I like to revert back to Katie's story just because she hit those ranks and she lost them. And she could have walked away. Like, oh, that didn't work out. I tried. But she got back into it. Like, she saw what the company could do for her and her family. And she lost it, but she stayed. And I think that's why I love Katie's story so freaking much, because just exactly that it can happen for you. No matter how long it takes. If it takes 8 years, okay, it takes 8 years. Okay, if you hit 40K and you lose it, you can get it back again. It's not like gone forever. You know what I mean? So it helps instill that belief that it can happen for you. You just have to believe in yourself. And I know that sounds so easy, but it's really not. But that's what this tribe is for. We borrow each other's belief in each other. Like, when I'm doubting something I'm doing, I call Amber, because I know Amber is going to be like, girl, and she's going to put me in check, right? Or Harriet even. And it's just, yeah, that's what we do. And if you have that, I'm sorry, that soft exterior, that soft interior, that's just like, oh, I don't want them to like yell at me or anything like that. So I'm just not going to tell them. I'm just not going to tell them. That's what we're here for. Even if it's a little tough love that we need sometimes. And that's incredible to be around on a physical aspect around other leaders. The importance of a local is the human interaction side of it all. And that's why I highly, highly encourage every single person on this Zoom, every single person on this team to do a local. Whether you host it, whether you let other leaders host it, when you find other leaders in your area, take turns hosting it. I think it was Mallory did a thing where, hey, if she did it for, like, I don't remember the details of it, but she did it for one of her promoters. If so many people showed up, they were all going to get so many credits gifted to them for showing up. And like free shipping on something, or like a free sculpt or something like that. I don't remember what the details were, but like, you could do that. If you have a new promoter enrolled with you, have them host a local and be like, hey, if you get 30 people up in here, you're going to get $50 in free products credits. Like, that could be something that you do for them. And that could be like an incentive, a little fire under your new promoter to host a local and get people there so that she can have, or he can have, potentials as far as customers, or even starting to build their team, right? Because maybe they're in their first 2 weeks, and that could be something you could do for your new promoter. Hey, host a local, get 30 people up in there. I'm going to send you $50 in credits. Like, it's incredible. Like, and I think that the importance of the entire local is the human interaction of it all. We build 90% of our business online. We see people through screens. Palooza is great, right? Like Palooza is all exciting, and it's a celebration of Thrive, and it's a celebration of Lavelle, and it's a celebration of like the products and the merchandise and all of the things. But like a local has a different vibe to it because it's smaller. You have more human interaction with other leaders and with other customers that are there. So the fact that 90% of our business is online and in groups online and on social media, I can see and I get how it can feel like it's not real. You know, like my teenagers have no idea what I do. They don't get what I do. Like they just see me sitting at my computer, like leaving comments and like maybe messaging people. I'm not physically on the phone all the time. I'm not going to this person's house or that person's house. I don't have a little table outside my front yard with Thrive stuff all over it. Like Thrive sale, like, no, it's online. It's on the computer. My teenagers don't get it. So it's not real because it's online. It's not in real life. So when you host a local, when you even attend a local, you get that realness feeling to it because you're around. Like I just hung out with Katie and Mallory and it was like no big deal, right? And we had Mexican and it was what's right? Like that's incredible. They're real people. They're not just this person that's online. When you're in the same room with other thrivers and other promoters, you can see that it is real. And then you can treat it like it's real. And it can be hard to take that leap of faith. It can be hard to take that leap of faith initially to even try something because you can't see the success of this business because you can't see the business, right? It's even harder sometimes to keep going on faith when we don't see much, if any, progress. So when we get in the same room with other promoters and other thrivers and other customers and other potentials with a table full of products, and you're hearing their stories and you're seeing the emotion on their faces, you can literally feel what they went through to get to where they're at because you're in the same room with them. Zooms are great. The trainings are great. I'm not down any of what we have here, right? Like this is a great way to build a business, but I think sometimes we need that human interaction to all of it. That is my biggest takeaway from everything, because I feel like we can sit here and we're doing all the things and we're doing our IPAs and we're going through the motions and we're putting up the post and okay, we put our face on our stories, whether it was about Thrive or not. But when you're sitting in a room with leaders who have failed and then made it, it's a different vibe than like Palooza. Oh my gosh, it's exciting. Oh crap, that's Katie. Yeah, it's a whole different vibe when you're just like chilling and it's nothing. And there's 30 people in the room and you're all telling each other how you got started. And locals are so much more laid back. And I think that we can all vibe with something like that, especially if there's people there that we know. Invite your neighbors. Like you go to the dog park with them all the time, invite them to a local. Tell them to bring their dogs, go to the local park, host it at your steakhouse, host it at the local park. This woman brought her baby with her. Most of you guys have little kids, right? So host it at a local park that's got like a pavilion and a grill and just, grab some balloons with some waiters on them and put them on the table with the, Dollar General tablecloth and just kind of, doesn't have to be anything $5,000 or anything like that, right? But locals help keep you grounded. They help, yeah, this is a real business. Yeah, I see. Okay, I see this. Like, holy crap. Like, this is real. We're going to treat this like this real. This is all right. Because for a lot of us, we took that leap of faith but it's hard to keep going on faith when you can't see the wheels turning, when you can't see the progress, when you can't, like, you're losing inches, but you're not losing weight, if that makes sense. The number on the scale is not going down, but you're losing inches and you're gaining muscle mass, but you don't see that. You just see the fact that the number on the scale is not going down. So you're not seeing the progress. When you're in the room with other promoters and other thrivers, it is so incredible because it's so down to earth and it's so humbling. And until you treat this like it's a business, you're not going to get paid like it's a business. And they said that at the local too. Most of the leaders here have relied on getting those samples out so they could get diapers for their kids or groceries or gas even. And I think for a lot of us, guilty, we lost that fire, right? Like, okay, now we can put gas in our car, but now what do we need? Now I'm getting gas in my car. What's keeping me going? Because that's all I'm getting now. I'm just able to put gas in my car. I wanted to put gas in my car. Now I can put gas in my car. What next? I know that we say if you post as though you're desperate, people can sense that and they'll stay away. But the truth is, for a lot of us, like, look at Mallory. When we first get started, we are desperate. We need that box of pancakes to feed our kids. We need to put gas in the car so we can get to our job, so we can pay our rent. When we first get started, for some of us, we are desperate. There's a way that you can word things. There's a way that you can come off, sure, to where it's a little bit of a lighter feel. I don't want to say fluffy feel, but we need rent. Some people need that VIP bonus so that we can pay our $400 power bill, right? Don't ask. I'm about to freaking blow them up. It's fine. But some people need that. They're relying on that VIP. You say, I can get $800 in the first 2 weeks. Okay. Walk them through how and stay with them. Don't just be like, okay, this is what you do. Call me if you need anything. Stay with them. They are relying on that. They have this electric bill that is $400 that they have to pay for. They don't know how they're going to do it next month. Figure it out then. But when a lot of us start, we are desperate because we need that rent. We need that VIP bonus. The key is to adapt the mindset as though you've already gotten the bonus. Talk like you've already gotten it. Word it differently. I don't like to make people think that I got it, but there's a way that you can word things, but you have to flip your mindset as though you got the bonus. You have to flip that mindset, be like, yeah, having that badge on my selfie is great, but that's not why I'm here. So you need to figure out why you're here. And when you're in that room with other thrivers and other leaders and other promoters and promoters who have made it just a little bit further and promoters who have failed and came back from that, that ignites something in you. That lights that inspiration back in you as to why you're here and what you're still doing here and what you're working towards. And so the key is to adapt that mindset as though you've already gotten the bonus. How would you feel if you got it? And bring that across in your posts or in your lives. I've never reached the VIP bonus and I've not reached the auto bonus yet, but I know how it would feel if I was having my car paid for right now. I know how it would feel because I know how much my car is. And now we have 2. And it's okay. So, okay, I started. I needed gas in my car. So those samples, pushing those samples out, posting about samples, getting those samples out, that put gas in my car. Now I need my car paid for because now I have 2. Never had 2 cars before. Now I have 2 cars. So now I need one of them paid for, even if it's only the $300. That's half of it. Okay, I'm okay with that. because she's going to be paid off in 3 years. It's fine. But I know how it would feel to have my car paid for. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Especially because my power bill is $400. So that would be a relief. That would be a relief. And yeah, vision. Vision is something like my vision board doesn't even have anything to do with my car being paid for. That's not on my vision board. Having my car paid for, that's a goal. Like, to me personally, maybe that's a vision for someone else. Like, maybe that's something big for you. That's great. Go for it. Fight for that. Talk about that. My vision board physically makes me cry. Physically scares the crap out of me. It gives me goosebumps. That's how big the visions are. Having my car paid for is a goal. But let me tell you something about that. Every single goal that I have set for myself in 2022, I've achieved. I started this fresh out of depression. I didn't have goals. I didn't have aspirations. I didn't want anything for my life. I didn't even like myself. But every single goal that I set for myself, I have achieved. No matter how small, no matter if it was a 15-hour drive away, it didn't matter. I had a goal. I set it. I didn't let anything distract me from it. And I got it. So if I want my car paid for, guess what's going to freaking happen? But you have to talk about it. You got to talk about what you have your hands on. And that's one of the main things that we do at having locals is we talk about what we have our hands on. And we share that with other people, and people see that in us, and they see your face light up, and not just on a screen, because we have to use a ring light or a filter because we've had a rough day and you're going to need this filter, trust me. But it's being around those people and feeling what they felt when they started. So maybe not posting desperately, but posting because we're desperate. Yes. Just adapting the mindset to knowing how it would feel. So when you post or you go live, you put that energy into your content. We live in a you have to see it before you can believe it kind of world. And I'm even kind of the same way. I'm your faith girl. I am the Christian. I go to church. I walk on faith. I live on faith. Yes. But I'm also the girl that likes to take her picture with Santa Claus at the mall. Okay. I like to see it. It's okay. And sometimes you have to see it before you can believe it. You have to see that leader fail and then pick herself up and go put a down payment on her freaking dream home. You have to see it to believe it sometimes. So locals are super important. And I think they're undervalued in our teams. I think locals are extremely undervalued and they're extremely under talked about. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Like I said, grab 15 to 30 people in your neighborhood, in your community, find other thrivers that are in your area that will drive 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours overnight and have to get a hotel to be around other thrivers, to be around other promoters, because there is an importance there. Our business is online, yes. And I've said this before. I don't know if I said it in a training or not, but we're building our businesses online, but we shouldn't. Oh, I can't remember how I said it. We shouldn't rely on online to build our business. We're building our businesses online, but we shouldn't rely on online to build our businesses. You have a neighbor. You have coworkers. You have another community right down the street. And it's getting around other people who are better at other things than you are. You're good at this, find somebody who's good at something different. And that's another thing about being at a local is those leaders are good at pushing samples. You're not so good at pushing samples. You're good at enrolling, but they suck at enrolling. Get around each other. Boom. Like, you need to be, it's great that we're around other people that are like-minded and that are success-minded and that are growth-minded, mindset-minded, and all of the things. It's great that we surround ourselves with similar people, but we need to surround ourselves with, and I think Gary Vaynerchuk said this, I heard this today, you're good at enrolling, they're good at sampling, get around somebody who is good at something different than you are, because they're going to show you how to do it and you're going to show them how to do it. Like Mallory said that she didn't know what the products were. She didn't know what the company was. She just knew she was going to enroll a bunch of people for Katie. Like, that's all she knew. She was going to come in and be a mass enroller, and she had no idea what that meant. She had no idea what the products were, and she had no idea none of it. Right. And she came in and look at her. She can clear the shelf of pancakes. It's fine. She's a freaking amazing. And I think I also heard one of our leaders' water broke. So I think she's having a baby. So that's awesome. Let's keep each other updated on that. So excited. I love when people have babies because I'm not having any more, but it's fine. But that's, again, something else that you get at a local that you wouldn't get online. That personal interaction is so super important. Seeing it firsthand is so super, I can't even, honestly. It was goosebumps driving there. And I was exhausted on the way home, but I was just reflecting on the way home. And you have to, we need to focus more on having locals. I really firmly believe that, because we cannot physically be around each other because we are all over the map, right? So have locals and maybe have one of your people go live with it. And we live in that see it before you believe it kind of world. And I am a faith person, but I get it. And that's where locals can come into play. If you're not a rank yet, no problem. I'm not a rank yet. I just went to a local with some of our top leaders. It was incredible. It was fine. Make a graphic, create a catchy 2-3 line post, share it to your hood groups, create it as an event for people, like create it like as an event on Facebook, like, hey, this is what we're doing. And one of the tips that I think Emma did or had mentioned was, don't say, hey, we're going to do this from 2 to 6. Don't have an end time. Have it like a come and go. Like, you can come and go. Have it relaxed. Don't have it like it's an appointment that people need to make. And when she said that, I was like, that's a really good idea. Because when I hosted a local and then the other leader hosted her local and we did it from 2 to whatever, right? And nobody showed up. And maybe that's the reason why, maybe that's not the reason why, but don't put an end time to it. Because maybe they'll show up at 4 o'clock. Maybe they just got off work and they're curious about this and they want to check it out, right? So don't put an end time to it. That was a good tip that she threw up. But make a graphic, create a catchy 2 to 3 line post, share it to your hood groups, create it as an event on Facebook for people in your area to show up to. Throw some products together as cute freebies, like grab one of the promoter packs or grab a half, a 30-day pack, and then just kind of get little samples. Grab 2 different flavors of Activate, maybe not your favorite flavor, so you can just give them away because if it's your favorite flavor, you're going to want to drink it all. But get some stuff that you haven't tried yet too. Like grab a couple things of Sculpt, grab a couple things of Balance, Pink Pro, grab a caffeinated one and a non-caffeinated one. Thirst, same thing. Just like grab different, little things. Maybe have prizes. Like do something with prizes. Like if you guess how many jelly beans is in this jar, you get 2 bottles of Sculpt for free, like whatever you want to do, right? Just throw some products together as cute freebies, maybe 1-day samples of our 3 steps, but show up for it. even if nobody else does, and post about it. Take pictures of the products that you got, take pictures of the table that you got set up. You don't have to show the empty room or anything like that. Just be like, local, this is it, this is where it's at, this is fire, this is what we got, this is what we're doing, this is what we get to do for you. And post that. You don't have to show or share. Nobody showed up. Guess I suck at this. This isn't gonna work. So do it as like a monthly thing. Last Saturday of the month. And then maybe as it builds, do it weekly. Could you imagine how your business would grow if you met up every single Saturday at your local park with every Thriver's kids and just did something like that? And you don't always have to host it. If you have other promoters with you, have them host it so that they're doing the giveaways and you ain't giving away all of your stuff. You know, like, they will see you doing this often. They will see you doing this every last Saturday of the month. They're going to see you doing this. They're going to see you showing up, just like you show up online. They're going to see you showing up at that park. They're going to see you showing up at that steakhouse. And they'll eventually going to get curious about what you're doing, because that's one thing that is the most predictable thing about human beings. They're curious. They want to know what you're doing. They don't like you. They don't comment on your posts. They don't like your posts. They don't let you know that they watched your live. But they want to know what you're doing. So they're going to show up eventually. And even if they're the only one there, and they don't buy anything, and they don't enroll, and they don't want to promote, they're going to tell somebody. And that person can be your customer. That person can be your rock star. But you have to show up first. If you don't show up, you're not going to have customers who show up. You're not going to have a team built that's going to show up because you never showed up. So it's important that we show up every day in our stories. It's important that we show up and share what we have our hands on online, but we need to start coming alive in real life with what we have our hands on. And you know what? Even if nobody shows up, guess what? You just had a great day at the park with your kids. That's a win, right? Because if you don't show up to grow, how can you expect to grow your business? If you don't show up for your business, how can you expect anyone else to? Because maybe you do have a promoter that's enrolled with you, right? Like maybe somebody enrolled with you and they're watching you to figure out how to do this thing that we have, right? And they don't know how to do it, but they're too afraid to ask you. But they wanted to do it and they just missed out on their VIPs and now they're like, but you're not showing up. If you're not showing up, they're not going to show up and they're going to talk, because that's another predictable thing that people do is they talk. If something doesn't work out, if something failed, if they didn't get their order right, they're going to post about it. Trust me, comes across my feed all the time. My name is Karen, cannot be helped. I don't know why. I don't even follow stuff like that. But because my name is Karen, that stuff shows up in my feed and I'm like, okay, whatever. But people talk. And people are curious. So you have to show up for yourself. And I think that another fun thing that would be cool to do it at a pool. It's funny, but it's true. Do it at a pool, like have a pool party. If you have a pool, I'll drive to your house. It's fine. They won't open our pool. It's okay. Make it interesting. Keep it creative. Don't set an end time to it. Just be like, hey, 2 o'clock, we're going to be here. We got this. Y'all got to come check it out. We're going to have freebies. That's another thing. I think the keyword freebies in that 1 to 2 liner post, or even as a hashtag, curiosity. People's going to show up. If you don't have business cards, get business cards. You can find them in your back office. You can even go to your UPS store and have them printed out. But I highly recommend business cards because you can drop one in those freebies with a little thank you card, all tied up, pretty. It's fine. And something else that, real quick, get creative with your packaging. Emma had this thing that she got. I got the bubble wraps. Okay. I got the cheap bubble wraps at the dollar store because at the time I got that, your girl was broke. Emma got these holographic envelopes on Amazon, but she doesn't just put them in a package. She uses them as the package. So the sample is showing on the clear side, and she puts her QR code in the corner of one side. She seals it. She'll take like her hair straightener, and she seals the package, stamps it, mails that out as is. So she's got like a little business card in one corner. She's got her QR code in the other. So like people have to scan it because people are curious. So they're going to scan the QR code to see what it is. But that was get creative with your packaging. And always, 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 even if it's a freebie, throw in a thank you card. Throw in a thank you. Yeah, she really was freaking genius with that. I don't know if that wasn't on the video. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna get those off of Amazon. I'm not sure if I'll do it exactly how she does it. Do it your own way. But just they were cute. They were holographic, so I like that, and I'm gonna get those. But she's Amazon, super cheap. But you can absolutely do that. Get creative with sending out your samples. Always throw in your business card and start putting the human aspect into your business, because we're humans and we go through stuff. We have to share what we go through, right? Like we're sharing our stories, but know that they have a story too. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you. I love that QR code idea. I love that. And I love that you said, bring your business to life, like with a local. I did like vendor events at the very beginning of my business. And so local is something that I definitely need to dabble into. So I'll be adding that to my list. Yeah, I don't forget what else I was going to say. I was going to say something else, but it's slipping my mind. But thank you for sharing all that information that you got from the local. I do think that it is something beneficial to add in, especially when you talk about like being behind a camera all the time and like actually bringing to life your business a little bit more. And it kind of brings that like professionalism into your business, kind of like the difference between like me doing a live video and just talking about the business and me actually setting up an event and saying, join me you guys at 8. I'm going to be talking about the business, what I do, yada, yada, all of that, go over comp plan, how it can benefit you. Like that's a totally different vibe than just me showing up and talking about the business on live video. So it's kind of the same thing, like to get your face out there. And it definitely, for some of us, will put us way outside of our comfort zone. And
which I think when you just mentioned vendors, even if like do a vendor event, like find in your groups, like your neighborhood groups. Like I have my hair girl, the girl who colors my hair, which getting ready to, but she has hair oils and she makes lip balms, and you guys hear me talk about that sometimes. She just did a vendor event with some other people. She's in my city. I see her all the time. I follow her on Instagram. Tag along. They don't have to be another Thriver. Tag along, like we're cool. I talk to her all the time. We're friends. Tag along with them. Be like, hey, I'll set up a table next to yours or behind yours or whatever, and just be like,
yeah.
start that way. Start small, even with just like a vendor event, and sit at a table with your pretty packaging and your creative QR codes and all of the things, eye-catching stuff, and just have, because like I said, people are curious. They want to know what you have.
They are definitely curious. All right, you guys, anything else anybody wants to add? Thank you, Karen, for pouring into us tonight. I love you guys. I'm gonna hit record and this will be uploaded on the team page. Good night.